Hello friends, Pulkit this side from Gadget Generations, and today I'm going to bring you a brand new review video. Today's review is going to be about a very special IEM, an all BA IEM, and it is a rare chance that I love an all BA IEM apart from a very handful of models. So today's video is going to be about this stunning IEM known as the 7th Acoustic Supernova. So Supernova has a 6 BA setup with and priced at like $750 US. It is from a boutique brand known as 7th Acoustics based out of Indonesia, and these IEMs are prepared on order. Like when you place an order, it takes about 1 month or something to start the shipping process. And I have got these units from my friend Mr. Sandeep Agarwal, who is based out of Bangalore in India. This is his personal unit, and I requested him to just send these to me for the purpose of this review video with you guys. Basically these IEMs are hyped over the moon. Everybody who has listened to these are praising them for their sonic capabilities. So I just wanted to check whether that hype is actually real or it is just something. So well, here I am, having spent like a week or something with the pair, and now I feel like I should share the experience that I've had with the 7th Acoustic Supernova. So let's begin the design and build quality part. So about the design and build quality for the Supernova, the pair is built brilliantly. It is slightly on the thicker side but fits quite nicely and provides with great isolation from the surrounding noises. And I have been using these with ultra clear tips by Softears, and for me the fit and isolation is simply excellent. I would say that the shells are a bit on the thicker side. Also, you guys can customize the looks for the Acoustic Supernova, 7th Acoustic Supernova. Since these are made on order, you guys can choose the color of the face covers that are going to be there, and they implement these beautiful painted covers. Like my friend has chosen this brilliant red and pinkish tone onto the face covers, which looks quite amazing. On the right side earphone we have the 7th Acoustics logo. On the left side earphone we have the Supernova logo placed quite brilliantly onto the center part. Well, that's about the design and build quality for the pair. The cable that comes with it has this 4.4 amp plug, and it is a nice and soft cable as well. It looks quite premium as it should. Now moving ahead, and we will discuss about the drivability part. For the past week or something, I have used these extensively with a bunch of gear, right from the full snowy night to very decent portable deck amp to Ibasso DX260 audio player, and as well as the Sony audio player, the WM1A Mark II. And I never had any issues driving the Supernova. The pair is quite easily driven. For most of the part, the impressions that I'm going to share in this video are based on my extensive listening with the Sony, the WM1A Mark II. So I find the combination to be quite decent, and I was like at high gain mode on the 4.4 output and like 50 volume out of 120 I guess on the device. So basically the drivability is quite decent. As long as you have a decent quality audio player, you are good to go with the 7th Acoustic Supernova. Now on to the sound quality part. See, the pair is quite famous for and quite notorious in the hobby as of now, because many people have praised it for its sound quality, and I am kind of joining their league because it sounds quite amazing. Yeah, it has a very melodious and musical presentation. It has a little bit of warmth to the output. The timbre, the tone is to the point. You will feel that it is quite rich and organic and quite natural in its presentation, and it just captivates you and presents you with a sound quality that is very immersive in its presentation. Starting about talking about the different frequency segments. First of all, the bass. This doesn't sound like an all bass set at all. It has a very strong bass response and very clean bass response as well. It is fast, it is precise, and it reaches deep into the sub bass region as well. It reminds me like for all BA setups I have only a handful of earphones that I personally feel like does the bass really well, like the 64 Audio U12T does bass really well, like the Sony IR M9 does bass really well, and then the 7th Acoustic Supernova does bass really well. It just doesn't feel like an all BA setup at all. It feels like they have hidden a DD somewhere in between, and for that strong bass response and for that happening bass response, basically it just complements the other frequencies really nicely. Next up we have the mid-range, and mid-range right after the bass region. I would say mid-range is again charming, very rich. Vocals are quite melodious and musical in their presentation. They sound well textured, and vocals are simply quite amazing to listen to. If you're someone who is who prefers listening to vocal centric tracks, then I am pretty sure that you're going to love the Seventh Acoustic Supernova as much as I did. Listening to sometimes like the Damien Rise, listening to Gloria Gaynor, and you are just going to have a great time listening to vocals on the Seventh Acoustic Supernova. And the complementing bass response is also there to add the excitement and punch to the output. Next up we have the treble. Treble is quite safely tuned, I would say. It is nicely extended, it is very smoothly executed, has good extensions, but it is quite safely tuned, I would say that. Technically it is a great performer, I would say. Soundstage is simply excellent, just like the galactic name, the Supernova. The pair has a massive soundstage, basically massive depth. I personally love the depth of the Seventh Acoustic Supernova. Width is a little bit, width is also quite decent. I won't call it intimate or immersive or narrow by any means. It has a really big soundstage presentation. Width is quite good and the depth is simply extraordinary for my taste. Next up, imaging and layering and instrument separation are very well executed, and Seventh Acoustics have done a great job in that regard as well. Now on to some cones part. First of all, I would say that it's really hard to find any cones onto the Seventh Acoustic Supernova. I have been listening to this set on and off for the past week. I was just I stopped listening to it for 2 days in between. At that time I was listening to Hype 10 to make the notes about how does these compare, but when I came back to it, I just knew that, man, the Supernova is a fantastic earphone and it's really hard. But yeah, the treble is too safely tuned for my taste. I would love some more excitement, some more energy, some more bite into the treble region. But overall as a package, the Seventh Acoustic Supernova has a very compelling sound signature. It is compelling and it is just captivating for the listeners. Another con I would like to mention, it is not readily available as of now. So basically, if you want to purchase it, you have to contact the buyer, you have to contact the seller, onto their Facebook page. Seventh Acoustics has a Facebook page, so you have to contact them, and then they will start after you pay them, then they will start preparing your unit, and it will take a long time to reach you. Minimum 1 month is something that I can't wait. I'm a patience-less man, but it sounds quite good. Well, on to some comparison part now. Today I will be comparing it. I don't have a multi-bass setup as of now, so I will be comparing it with something around its price point. Yes, it is a bit pricier, so I will be comparing it with the Theaudio Hype 10. So Hype 10 has 2 DD and 10 BA setups. Yeah, they have a dual dynamic driver setup in an isobaric configuration, so they both are placed parallelly to each other to produce an immensely powerful bass response. How do these two compare? So for me, Hype 10 has a very strong bass response. Like, some people might call it overwhelming because it is too strong and it comes out and it stands out in the entire output, while Seventh Acoustic Supernova has a more balanced approach in that regard. Next up, we have a very magical mid-range on the Seventh Acoustic Supernova. The mid-range is really charming and it is just melodious, and you will just I just can't I just don't find the exact words to depict the charm that they have with their natural and organic tone. So the mid-range on the Acoustic Supernova is much better in my opinion. Hype 10 has more resolution in that regard. Mid-range is has more clarity, but it has a bit of boosted upper mid. So some people might find its vocals to be too into the face. I personally prefer that presentation, that W-shaped kind of presentation, while the Acoustic Supernova has a U-shaped presentation. So instrument notes, I would say that Hype 10 has better definition. It has more extensions and more bite in the treble region as well. Acoustic Supernova has a smoother treble presentation and slightly thicker notes for instruments. Well, that's about my comparison with the Hype 10, and that's about my review for the 7th acoustic supernova. I would like to thank my dear friends Mr. Sandeep Agarwal wholeheartedly for sending in this unit on my request to just let me spend a week with it and judge it with its performance. And I am personally in love with the supernova. Maybe down the line, if it is readily available, I might pull the plug someday, but as of now, 1 month of wait is the biggest con for me personally, because I'm a patienceless man and I just can't wait that much long. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video, and do subscribe to my channel for further high audio related content. Thank you so much. This is Pulkit signing off.